Hello and welcome back to the Everything Film Podcast. I'm your host Ryan, and today we have a special guest with us today, Andrew. Thanks for coming on.
Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on.
No problem, man. So, Andrew, what do you think about Star Wars Episode 4?
Oh, for starters, it's a masterpiece, really and truly, because it changed the game more so than anything else. I mean, before that, no one had done something like this, and because of this movie, if this movie didn't exist, we may not have movies as we know them today because George pioneered so much stuff through Star Wars.
Yeah, I totally agree. Um, I know like Marvel took a lot of inspiration from Star Wars in their movies, and even The Flash had the lightsaber fight.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
So it really like influenced a lot of movies and TV.
I think this is definitely one of the most influential pieces of media of all time because it really gave sci-fi a new way to do it.
Absolutely. It's like before sci-fi was just seen as like this childish space thing, but George made it to where people of all ages, even though it's technically targeted as kids, people of all ages can watch it.
Even
Yeah,
50 years later, it's still relevant.
Yeah,
Like on Disney Plus, sometimes it's number one, and it's been here for 50 years. No one's getting tired of rewatching it, which is surprising to me.
exactly.
I think this was really, it might be the most influential because I know the Raimi movies, like Spider-Man 1, paved the way for superhero movies, and so did The Dark Knight. But I don't think we would have these without A New Hope. Like we had the Adam West Batman movies, I think before A New Hope, but they weren't to that level yet.
I think Superman might have been like almost there.
Well, Superman came out after this.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh yeah, it did. I always think it came out before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah, George changed the game,
even
plain
for
and simple.
movie music, I think this really holds this was really influential when it comes to music because after this we got the iconic Superman score. And then ever since then, every piece of music that's not every most of the piece of music is really it really holds up. I think this paved the way for that as well.
Oh, absolutely, because like I actually watched the documentary about John Williams. Very fantastic documentary, by the way. Talked about his life and stuff, but it's like this really like upped the game for a lot of people because at the time most people didn't have like traditional orchestras or they usually had just music that was already done. But George wanted something different, and the music tells the story without any dialogue.
Yeah. Like Binary Sunset.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Oh, one of the best soundtracks of the entire series.
Yeah, it's like the music speaks to you. Like Luke
With
doesn't have to speak at all.
yeah, just the music itself kind of develops a character.
And then even like the sunset.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
The way they use that in The Last Jedi, it was nice fan service.
That was actually fan service done right.
I think that was the
Yeah.
one thing The Last Jedi did good. Or
There's a
No.
few, but not a lot.
one of the few things. Like one of the few things that I came out of the movie like, wow, I actually like this about the movie. I think that was the biggest thing that they did right when it came to the that movie. And I think I love movie callbacks, like in Spider-Man 2, when Otto asks him how is he doing, and he says trying to do better. I think but I still think Binary Sunset might be the best movie callback of all time because it's from like the first movie to essentially it's from the first time we see that character to the last time. So I think that like it is probably the best callback scene of all time. What do you guys think?
It's definitely a full circle moment at the end of the day. It's like he started as this boy who yearned for adventure, and by the end, he got that adventure and he's passing the legacy on to a next generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way of unpacking it.
I think it I think it would have been better if the Ray trilogy was better, but like I personally I don't hate the Ray trilogy as much as a lot of people do, but like I think if it was better, then it would have been the best or one of the best.
I think Force Awakens is good, but the rest are just bad. Like I think Rise of Skywalker is better than Last Jedi, but it's still pretty bad.
Have to disagree with you on that part. I think The Last Jedi is at least a little bit better because it at least tried to do things different. And it had one of the best setups for a final movie of the whole series. Luke's gone. The Resistance is basically gone. The First Order is won. They're in shambles. You got nothing. And then it's just like, what happened?
I know a lot of people do like The Last Jedi more than Rise of Skywalker.
I'm gonna say it's the best visually looking out of the sequels. That's how I always feel about it. Like that red color palette that they use throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love even the poster. The
Oh,
way
the
it
poster is
uses
one of the best.
yeah, the way it uses the red colors. I think it's really good. It could have been it could have been a good movie, but it just
Well,
kind of do
when you
you
say
like
good
it?
movie, I honestly, like I said, I don't hate any of the Ray movies. I like they're nowhere near as good as the original, but like it could have, and it also could have done like a lot of things better, but I don't think it was that bad. I really don't. Because I kind of got into Star Wars with the Ray trilogy, to be honest, and then like I started watching the older movies. So maybe that's why I don't think it's that bad,
Hmm.
but
It's like it's for me, it's more of a case of poor planning and poor execution. It's like they had a good framework to work off of, but when you have two directors who are constantly trying to one up each other, basically, it's and outdo and take what the other one did and just not roll with it, it's kind of hard to have one consistent flow for I want to say for all of George's faults, he knew what he wanted to tell.
Yeah, it
yeah.
was I feel like he wrote it all before releasing one, or at least mapped
Kind of.
or at least
He
mapped it
had
all out.
ideas.
Yeah, I think he at least mapped all six movies out instead of just having one director do this, having another put his own spin and change some of the setup that the first director was doing. So I think they could have been better if it was just one director telling his story.
Yeah. Also,
Or
what I
if you
love,
have multiple directors, put them in a room, have them work together on a single script.
Yeah, different different instead of having just different ideas and different story paths.
yeah, I think one of the things I love about A New Hope and like the original trilogy is that like they don't rush anything, to be honest. Like they really don't. I think they it has like the perfect flow because towards the end of the movie, George could have easily made Luke like, have a lightsaber and be a Jedi, but he chose not to. It was really just him like starting to become a hero, and it felt really grounded. And even though like he did use the Force a little bit, but it wasn't overused or like um he wasn't forced to become a Jedi at the first in the first movie. And I think that's one of the things I love about it so much is that like it really felt grounded and it focused on just Luke becoming a hero and saving, you know, the universe, I guess, the galaxy.
What I
Yeah,
al
it's definitely very grounded. Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
It's definitely very grounded.
Yeah.
What I also love about it is that how it's the whole trilogy's telling one story, but each movie doesn't feel like it's a part one. It feels like it's a complete story, but it's leading towards something else. Like it doesn't feel all set up. Like the prequels don't feel like they're all setting up Revenge of the Sith, but they feel like their own individual story that has kind of set up, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see what you
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, I can see what you're saying, but at the same time, I'd say A New Hope is definitely one you could watch on its own, and for the most part, it's a pretty solid beginning, middle, and end. I'd say once you put Empire on, you kind of have to watch the next one because it ends on a cliffhanger and you need to know what happens next.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it still has its own story. It's not just
Yeah, I
like
see what you're saying.
I
similar to
think
how Infinity War, it still ends on a cliffhanger, but it still feels like a full movie.
I
And not
disagree with
Hmm.
you there.
really.
Yeah, like I think as you're watching Infinity War, I don't want to get too deep, but like as you're watching it, it's a story, just them versus Thanos, and like it feels like all throughout the movie, like wow, this is really long, it's really full, every character is getting a lot of screen time, and then towards the end, I think it just feels like you didn't get anything, and like you just have to watch Endgame.
Well, you do have to watch it, but it's still just like a complete story.
Not
I see what
really.
you're saying.
I think what
Like,
makes it a complete story is Endgame. But like if someone just watched Infinity War, it wouldn't feel like a complete story unless you watch
Well,
Endgame and then you realize like 5 years later and then
not a complete story, but complete movie.
well I
Doesn't feel
guess the
like
movie did finish.
Yeah, but what I mean is it doesn't feel like you're just watching half of a long movie. It feels like you're watching a movie that ends and that leads to another movie, but not like I had an example but I forgot.
I think I see what you're saying. It's like because in a way, in not Endgame, Infinity War is Thanos' movie. His journey is complete by the end of that movie. He set
Yeah.
out what he needed to do. If you look at it like that, it makes sense.
Yeah, it didn't just end with him like coming to Wakanda. That didn't feel because some setup movies just feel like two acts, but not the third act. But this, along with like Infinity War and Endgame, really felt like it was a movie with three acts that lead into another movie with another three acts, not just like one long movie split in half. Like you kind of have to watch you have to watch Endgame after Infinity War, but Infinity War tells its own story. Like it finishes the story it started with. Like Thanos, like you said, Thanos gets the stones. So similar to Star Wars, it's we all know it's leading up to like the prequels are leading up to Anakin becoming Darth Vader, but every movie tells its own story with minor things that contribute to his transformation until the third one. Because like episode 1, we have them training, them finding young Anakin. Episode 2 is them against the clones and Anakin killing the Tusken Raiders. It just all leads up to something, but the movies don't feel incomplete. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
I get it. At least with the Star Wars um, thing.
So they work as their own individual story, but together it's one cohesive narrative. The overall arcing story is the story of Anakin.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's what it's
that's
always been since the inception.
yeah. But like the sequels felt like they were multiple. They were just kind of they knew where they wanted to go, but they kept going in different directions. So I that's what I really love about the old. That's what I really love about the original trilogy is that it really feels like even the prequels and the original trilogy, it's like one whole narrative, but every movie has a somewhat satisfying conclusion. It doesn't. Every movie feels like its own thing. Like you do want to watch the next one, but it's not like it doesn't feel like it's half of the movie's missing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Andrew, how did you get into Star Wars?
That's a answer I genuinely don't have the fullest answer to because I was so young when I got into it. It's something it's been a part of my life for so long. Like that's how young I was. I was conscious enough to know what was happening, but just young enough to not remember when was the first time I watched the movies.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Let's say
I
if I
think,
had to guess, I started with episode four and then worked my way back because the I think I was hold on. Yeah, I was three when Revenge of the Sith came out, so eventually I worked my way back and saw those. Because a 3-year-old should not see Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
yeah,
At least
that's
minus the first 20 minutes.
they would like never go to school after seeing what Anakin does, or
Oh
never
no.
want to. Yeah, it's the worst movie for a preschooler to see.
No. At that age, it's the most impressionable age of someone's life. No.
They just don't want to go to school.
yeah. Like I said, I got into it with the Ray trilogy. Um, I don't know. I just like there were like lightsabers. It was action, like people waving laser swords around. So I loved it. Um, yeah, and I guess maybe that's why, like I said, I don't hate the Ray trilogy, but
I
yeah,
got
that's how I
in.
got into it.
I got in through like Battlefront 1, to be honest, because I had
Talk about
never
the original Battlefront one or like the newer ones?
the newer one.
Okay, I was like, talking about the classic or the new ones?
Yeah, the no, I
Hmm,
never played the classic, but I've never watched all of them in full until April of this year. Like
really?
I've never seen episode 1 through like 9 until like April, May. And then after that I was like, wow, this is really good. So I decided to watch Clone Wars, then Rebels, and I didn't I feel bad about that, but like or The Mandalorian. It was either Battlefront or The Mandalorian because I started it like I think after season 2 aired, and then that's when I continued, but I never really got an interest to watch the movies until recently, like April. But like it's either The Mandalorian or Battlefront, which is
I'm
kind
gonna
of
say for newer fans, that's pretty common. It's like The Mandalorian is what brought in a lot of newer fans because you don't need to know much.
Yeah, I think it's kind of weird because I feel like I always knew, like I watched it since I was young. Like I always knew that, spoilers, but Darth Vader was Luke's father.
Oh no!
Like I always knew that for some reason. I don't know how, but like I feel like all the main story points were just
Because it's so
there.
ingrained in pop culture. Like people know that line,
yeah, I knew that
Yeah.
too.
even though they say it completely wrong.
Yeah. I think I knew the real version of the line. And I feel like just Star Wars was in the environment I was, so I knew some of the lore. Like I knew who Yoda was. I knew who Han Solo was. Yet I've never seen any of the movies. It's just
Ye-
such a big relevant thing. Thanks to
Yeah, I felt
like
like I didn't have to.
yeah, I knew. I didn't
Yeah.
know. Like I think what really expanded, what really gave me roar I didn't know about was Clone Wars because
Oh yeah,
I knew most everything that the movies show except but I've never seen them until Clone Wars really like I didn't know a lot of this stuff. I think Clone Wars I thought lightsabers was something that like I didn't think you made them. I don't know what I thought, how I thought you got them, but I just thought they were like given. I don't know what I thought about, but until Clone Wars, I was like, "Oh, you make these things?"
yeah. There's a lot of lore behind making them, and it's some of the most fascinating stuff, especially when you learn how red crystals are actually made. It's really dark.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't watch Clone Wars, but I saw Ahsoka, and I think one of the only things I liked about the show was that they made their own lightsabers. And I just liked the scene where they made it.
there's like I
Yeah.
think 5 episodes in Clone Wars, maybe five. I'm gonna say like four, 3 or 4 episodes just dedicated to people making lightsabers.
I know there's
And
at least a part two episode when they actually go to the planet and get the crystals. That one I know for a fact. I think there's another. It's been a minute since I've seen Clone Wars.
yeah, yeah, there is. It's 2 parts. There might, yeah, it's 2 parts. There's one. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So, Andrew, what was your favorite scene in A New Hope?
Favorite scene? Oh boy, that's tough. It might actually have to be the duel between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. It's not flashy by any means. It's nothing like the prequels, but it's A, it laid the foundation for every Star Wars duel later on, but B, you just get so much from their little interactions. You can tell how much one hates the other and one kind of feels sorry for the other, even though that wasn't even the original intent when George was making the movie. You still get that idea that these were friends. They did like each other and they've drifted apart and now they're enemies.
Yeah, I see what you mean. What about you, Nathan?
It has to be Binary Sunset.
I was gonna say that one, but
I feel
I
like
put
That,
you.
it's
that's like
almost
my
like
number two.
it's therapeutic in a way. Um,
Yeah, I
and
see
then
what you
also just
mean.
like the two sons, it just really, for some reason, there's just something about it that soothes
He's
me.
looking into the horizon.
Yeah,
Yeah, and like it's really when you realize that the sun is setting on his old life, and he never goes back to that again. I think that's like it's really deep.
yeah.
It's a subtle piece of storytelling. I've always said George is a great storyteller. May not always be the best writer, but he knows what he wants.
Yeah, and I think people don't. I feel like they don't. I don't think he's that. I think he's a really underrated writer because like I see people making fun of some of the lines in the old movies, and I'm like, these are really good. Like and I don't see some of the hate. I do agree some of the lines aren't the best, but I do think he does a great job at writing deep dialogue and also dialogue that if you don't if you don't watch the other movies, if you don't watch other movies and then rewatch this, that you won't get the how great the dialogue is because it's hinting to other stuff.
I
I
also
think,
think because it's older, like it's just some of the stuff aren't gonna hold up as well.
yeah,
Oh, absolutely. Like,
So like I don't
there's an
think it's that
infamous
fair.
line that Mark hates that he finally got him to cut because it's like no one talks like this. If you all have seen that, it's one of the funniest things Mark's talked about.
what was the line?
I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but it's like he goes on this like paragraph rant or something. It's like, but fear's their greatest defense, something something Akalai and Solus, but something leading to a large scale assault. And it's like, who talks like this, George? You can find it on YouTube, dude. It's one of the funniest lines. And you're like,
Okay.
yeah, good thing he cut that out because it does not make sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go watch that
Yeah.
after this.
And
And
Harrison
also,
Ford was very notorious for the dialogue too.
and I also like, I love the way that they like. I don't mind it as much because it's outer space. It's supposed to feel like a different world. So
I
like,
mean,
I
you're
don't
literally
want
in
them.
another galaxy.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
don't want them to be like talking like I don't know, like brain rot, like
Yeah.
our the way that we talk, because it'll remove some of that magic, um, the feeling to it. So I don't really mind it as much as other people.
I think my favorite scene, since you took Binary Sunset from me, it's probably the one where Obi-Wan explains the Force.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
that's a
one's
good
good.
scene.
I basically like any scene with the Force theme playing on top of it.
I mean,
If it
it's iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I really love that scene, and I think the good thing about it, they stuck with that explanation for the rest of the franchise. I think it's a really well done scene. I Yeah.
Oh, fun fact. I didn't start watching Star Wars with the original trilogy. Um, so I remember, I guess like maybe some time after I watched like the Rey movies, but um, I saw Rogue One and that scene with Darth Vader. I saw him use the Force. I was like, wait, bad guys can use the Force?
You're talking about the hallway scene, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just like because there he has like two scenes in the whole movie, and one he uses the force
Uh,
choke, and the other is the hallway scene.
so I don't remember. Like, I was just surprised that like I didn't know that. So I guess that's one of the things I didn't know. But like I
Yeah, and
was
then you go
in
in the
shock.
books and you see how insane the force actually is.
Yeah.
I need to start reading. I've read one. I forgot which one it was, but it was like a few months ago. I need to read more of them. I really feel bad about how little lore I know.
I mean, Star Wars has been around for almost 50 years, and about 30 of those years has been lore, and then you take into account Disney buying and like taking out all that lore and creating their own lore. It's you have a lot. I
Yeah.
don't even know all of it.
Yeah, I think you do.
Not even close.
Like a lot of your videos on your channel, I'm like, wait, what is this? I know it's Star Wars, but I don't understand at all. And I have to like Google some of them to understand what the video is about. I
I'm
feel,
gonna say when you see some of the characters, you're like, I'm sorry, what?
yeah. And I know it's like, it's a good video, and I just know it's my fault that I don't understand because I just don't know. I probably know like 10% of the lore.
I'm probably about 20% of the lore. Like, and it's
I
mostly
think
stuff that's more Disney canon because it's this era I grew up more in.
Yeah.
if you know 20, then I know like 5
What?
because I don't know that much, and I need to learn more of it.
I think for me, I don't like calling myself a Star Wars fan when I am, but like I don't like I don't know a lot of the lore. Like a lot of it I
I'd say you're
really
more of
don't
a
know.
cat. I'd say there's like different kinds of Star Wars fans. If I had to guess, I'd say you're probably more like a casual fan,
A youngling.
the youngling. Oh, well, we know what happens to younglings.
Yeah. You're probably like a Jedi Knight, Andrew, and I'm like a Padawan.
Hmm. Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, I really do love Star Wars, and let me think. There's just a lot of stuff I don't know. And also I like a lot of the old stuff, like you were saying, Andrew. I know more of the Disney stuff, but like there's also so much things to watch that I just haven't watched them all,
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna
it's
say
really
it's
hard for
really
me.
hard to catch up on everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I used to watch Clone Wars when I was like little, but to watch it again and to watch like all the other stuff, it's hard.
I'll say I used to hate Clone Wars wasn't when I was younger
I
I
don't
because I'm
even
know.
like
I remember watching it, but like I don't remember what I thought about it.
I
I
went to see
was
the movie in theaters.
I saw the movie and I was like, wow, I've heard people call this a masterpiece. Is there something wrong with me? Am I the only one not that doesn't think the movie is like 10 out of 10 until even like first two seasons of the
I'm gonna
show.
say it takes about 3 seasons, and then you're like, boom.
Yeah, I was like, man, am I a fake Star Wars fan for not thinking this the best piece of Star Wars media? And then I'm in like season 6 and I'm like, yeah, this is the best piece of Star Wars media ever.
Wait, like actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially once you hit season 7, the final
Yeah.
4 episodes, once you realize what it connects to, you're like, oh no.
Oh yeah, I was watching. I'm not gonna give it away to Nathan, and I'm like, fake. This feels familiar. The final episodes, like, where
Then
have
they
I
say
heard?
it.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, and I felt so bad that I didn't pick up on it earlier because I'm
It's a
like,
prime example of Alfred Hitchcock's bomb explanation for film.
yeah, like Clone Wars. It's no, without a doubt better. It's without a doubt the best piece of Star Wars media.
So better than Andor, the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say because Mandalorian definitely had because you had Dave Filoni helping with that, who worked on Clone Wars, so he took stuff from Clone Wars and put it in that.
Okay.
Yeah, like Bo-Katan,
Yep.
a lot of the other characters. And even like Andor takes stuff from Rebels. Like
Yeah,
there's
because
that
it's set around the same time, if I remember
yeah.
correctly.
Yeah, so it's like the animated stuff, even Rebels, it's not the best, but the last two seasons are really like better than like episode 1, episode 2.
For me, it really got good in the last 2 episodes of season 2. Like those 2 episodes,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
you know,
these are like really good.
and that's when
I
it changed, and that's when I actually liked Rebels.
Yeah, at first I was like, man, I
This
felt
feels
like I
very
was a
Disney.
yeah, I felt like I was a fraud Star Wars fan because like all these things that people are calling amazing, I'm just not liking it. And then I was about to quit on watching Rebels until the last two episodes of season 2, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this in full. And then season 3 is amazing, and so is season 4, and then like
And that
even
leads right into Ahsoka.
yeah, I which I think is a good show.
Yeah,
It
I
has its
don't agree with you.
problems, but
Yeah, I
when it gets
think
right, it gets right.
yeah.
Really? I
Yeah.
like I I had no interest in Ahsoka. I thought it was like really bad, to be honest. I was just so it was boring to me. Um, like there was only like a few things that I liked about it. Like I said, the lightsaber scenes, like when they were making it. Um, and also I just didn't like Ahsoka, so that
Yeah,
messed it up for me.
that seems to be a general consensus for a lot of fans, but I'm like, when I think about it, I'm like, think about it. This girl has been through so much at a very young age, and she's not going to be the same as she was in the animated version.
Well, the thing is, I didn't
It's
even watch the animated version. I just didn't
mm,
like her. No.
Ah,
Ryan was
I
saying that
think
like she's good in the animated shows, but I haven't seen it.
So, what do you guys think about the CGI of the movie? Like, not, I know it's no CGI, but like the visual effects.
cutting edge for the time, like a lot of animatronic. You're talking about New Hope, right? Or
Yeah, we're still in a new hope.
okay. So yeah, very cutting edge for the time. A lot of animatronics, a lot of models, and it's like, and you can tell that they still hold up. The CGI not always the best with the like the new enhancements, but some of them are like they were worthwhile enhancements. Like to the mo like all of Mos Eisley looks so much better now versus back then.
Yeah, but like, I still think the visual effects here, like even Superman came out, I think a year after. The visual effects look better than that movie.
Than Superman.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Um,
Not the new one.
I think yeah, I think um, I think this had way more visual effects to be honest. Like Star Wars, um, there was just so many things to be done. Where Superman, he can fly, um, and I think his heat vision. I think that's what probably took the most VFX.
I'm gonna say with Superman, he's in the real world, so it's a lot
Yeah,
easier versus Star Wars. You have to create all these aliens, you have to create all these places, you have to make these models, make these ships, make these explosions.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think
Um,
that this movie is the CGI is great for its time. And they did do a remastered version of the visual effects, right?
Yeah, the special editions, adding like making it look better the way George originally wanted, because at the time the CGI was basically nothing back then, and
Yeah, so I feel like the CGI here kind of looks a bit better than it does in the prequels.
oh,
um,
that's a hot take.
yeah.
Not
E. Yeah, I disagree with you there. I think coming from the original trilogy, I was like, I got used to it, and it didn't really like remove any of my enjoyment. But coming into the prequel trilogy, I was like, whoa, okay, they really stepped it up here. Like, it
like
looks
not
way better, and it was like
spec
so cool to see. It's funny because I kind of went back in time, and the CGI there, it probably looks bad compared to like anything else I've seen now. But like I was like, wow, this is great. Like I haven't seen any of like 20 like movies come out in 2020. Like I was just surprised to see how good the technology was.
Oh no, the prequels still hold up really well.
Yeah.
I watched it in theaters and I'm like the when they re-released Revenge of the Sith, I saw that in theaters. I'm like, this holds up better than some movies made a year ago.
I wanted to go see it on re-release day.
Like The Flash.
I wouldn't say it would say just the Flash. How about have you seen half the CGI in Marvel movies nowadays?
Quantumania.
I don't think Quantumania had that bad, except for MODOK.
No, like the Quantum Realm just looks
It
Really?
looks so fake.
yeah, and it looks so bad. Like I think it's the
Looks like
what
they're in a green screen.
yeah, I think it's also the colors that they use. Like the filter on the camera plus the environment. It gives off this weird like pinkish orange look that
Well, I
just
think
doesn't
that's the
sit right with
quantum realm.
no, but it just doesn't sit right with me. And even the CGI, it
I know
just
what he's saying. It's like your brain knows it's CGI, so it's kind of hard to actually feel like you're in that world because part of you's like, this isn't real.
yeah, like Star Wars looks very believable. And like
Well,
yeah, it does. Do you disagree?
I think sometimes, like, because of the year it came out in, like, sometimes it does look fake. Like,
I'd have
when
to
you're in
say that
space.
at least with episode one, you can kind of
Yeah.
start to see a bit of the age and a little bit in episode two, but by the time you hit three, you're like, this looks good.
Well, Yeah, I can see, but I feel like it looks. I think it looks, but like Mustafar in episode 3. I think I pronounced that wrong.
Yeah, you
It
said
look,
it correctly.
it looks great. It kind of looks more believable than the quantum realm.
Whoa.
Yeah, it does because the quantum realm, like Andrew said, it looks so CGI that your brain knows it's CGI, and it just doesn't come off. It doesn't sit right with me. But like the but the planet looks really good in Revenge of the Sith. Maybe that's just me.
Everyone's different. So there are other people who agree, others who may not agree the same. So it's a 50-50 split.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem I have with the visual effects in A New Hope is probably the laser or the blasters because
Yeah.
you can see that they're like not I don't even know how to explain it, but they're 2D. Um, so you can just see
Yeah,
like they're
I can see what you're saying. I'd have to actually rewatch it again to know for certain, but yeah, I can kind of see that.
but that was really like the only problem I had. And I guess like some of the lightsaber scenes, they don't look that good, but that's because of the time it came out in.
I think that my brain knows that this came out earlier, so the CGI just looks better, if that makes sense.
I think just going back, like when I rewatched like all the movies, like by episode two, I'm already immersed into the world, and I kind of got used to, how it looks, so it just didn't bother me anymore.
Yeah. And I'd say at least with episode one, there's still plenty of practical effects, and it was really two and three where they kind of went more full CGI for a good chunk of the scenes.
Yeah. Um,
Just curious, what are you guys' thoughts on the action for A New Hope?
the
I
action.
I
Oh,
think
Ryan,
it's
you can go.
I think it's good, but it's not the best we've seen. On a scale of 1 to 10, I think it's like a 6.5.
I'd have to agree. It's like a good foundation. But stuff that's come after, it's like feels more intense.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
like
think it's also because like it's Luke's first journey, so it's obviously like they can't like make him fight Vader with a
Yeah,
blaster.
but Obi-Wan's there.
No, but like Obi-Wan died.
because Obi-Wan was doing that intentionally.
Yeah.
He was
So
trying to
like
draw Vader's attention.
Yeah, but like yeah, I see what you mean, Nathan.
so like he it kind of had to start on a smaller scale and then so he can grow with Luke and Luke can get better, leading to him training with Master Yoda and then he'll finally become a Jedi. So,
Yeah. Say it started, Luke's world was so small in each movie, it gradually built up into something bigger and bolder.
yeah.
Congratulations on hitting 1,000 subscribers, Andrew.
Oh, thank you. I don't know. I can't believe I actually hit it.
Like I've been watching your channel for a while. I think
So
you
you're
were
probably
at
one of my earliest subscribers.
I think you were at like 100 subscribers, and I was like, wow. And then I saw you hit. I had more than you at one point,
Yeah,
and then you
you started before me. You had way more than I think I posted one short and that blew up.
yeah, and I was like, wow, that's so cool because like then you hit 500, then 600, and it was like so cool to watch your channel grow.
Yeah, I
So
subscribed to you like when you were at 500, I think.
Wow.
And then next thing you know, you're at 1,000.
I know I'm still just like I actually hit 1,000. Like I
It's,
actually had to wait a day to for it to be official because they kept alternating from 999 to 1,000 all day. So I'm like, I'm gonna wait just to make sure.
yeah, I remember when I first hit 100, it kept going from 99 to, and I made a post and I had to delete it because it was just too early and it just went back to 99.
I
So
usually
I'm
wait like 2 days and I'm like, okay, if it's stayed consistent, boom, I'm gonna talk about it.
so I'm curious, what's your favorite video you've ever made?
Oh boy, that's tough. Hmm. Mind if I do it in like sections, like three different ones that I really enjoyed?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so the first one, my very first video essay on the Village Bride, on Star Wars Visions, The Village Bride. Really enjoyed making that. It was such a different thing compared to that something I've normally done, and it's done really well so far. Really happy about that. Um, Another one that I'm really happy about. I'm going to take. I'm not going to mention these because that's a whole other ball game. Um. I'm really happy with my Skywalker Saga trailer tribute because that took like 3 months of editing to make happen, finding the right music, right clips, syncing, knowing when to switch and everything. Um, the last one. Oh, the great, that's the tough one. Um, it's actually might actually be one of my Master Casino lore videos, specifically talking about. I think it was. Hold on. Yeah, it was the Great Hyperspace War. I really enjoyed that because I actually got to learn, I actually had to look up more stuff about it because I only do surface level stuff. So went in more in depth, got the bare bones of what I needed to tell, then write the script the way the character would talk about it. So that was a lot of fun to make.
Yeah, I loved these as well. So I think you're probably most famous for your Chiral series. Where
Probably
did
that's probably it.
where did you get the idea to do that?
So I've had ideas for Star Wars stories like ever since I was a little kid, always coming up with different characters and stuff, but I never followed through with making anything like that until about a year ago, almost 2 years now. I watched a YouTube channel called Concordia Jedi, fantastic channel. Please go check them out. They have a series called The Book of Cassius. It's a that follows a Jedi Padawan during the prequel era. I finished that series and I'm like, this was so well done. I want to make my own. I'm not kidding. I actually cried at the end of his series.
Oh, I need
Um,
to check that out.
yeah. Um, it was so well done, so I decided I want to do that. Then, but to make mine not in the prequel era, I'd picked a period of time where you don't know hardly nothing about. There's like 500 years of in between the Old Republic, which is like Revan, all that, and the High Republic, which is like I hate to say this name, but it's set during the time of the Acolyte a little bit before. So, it's like 500 years of stories that you don't know nothing about, so that gave me room to experiment with new ideas and tell this story of this specific Jedi and what has he gone through at this time and all that.
Yeah, you didn't have to worry about
The lore implication.
yeah,
Like
at
somebody,
Yeah,
least a lot of it.
pretty sure somebody would comment like, "You got this wrong. This didn't
well,
happen."
actually, yeah.
That's why I'm kind of afraid of doing like writing like fanfics because there's so much lore that you have to like account for.
Yeah, that's like the main reason I didn't do it in the prequel era because I'm like, A, there's only so many ways this story can go. If I do that, I'm very limited. And B, there's a lot of extra lore I have to account for.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very fun making that. Going to go back and remaster the first two books because Ryan might know this. And I think you might too, Nathan. The first two books had all AI narration and voices, which were good for the time, but now that I have a full voice cast, want to go back and tell the story how it was meant to be told.
Yeah. It would be so cool if they did like a Disney Plus show or something about
I
it
swear you
because
mentioned that a lot, but it's like I would love for that to happen. It's like preferably I'd have it be animated just so I can have the characters look like the characters.
Yeah, I think I prefer animated shows. Like as long as they're animated in a certain way, like as long as the animation is nice, I slightly prefer it over, just TV shows, like live action TV shows.
Everyone has their preference. I'm kind of in between. It really depends on the what I'm watching.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, if it's more of like something like Star Wars or um I don't know, like superheroes and stuff, I think animation just suits it better in a
Yeah.
TV show setting at least. But I do prefer like live action movies over animated just a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of me too. It really, I'm like 9 times out of 10, I'll love a live action movie more because I know it's like they're really there for the most part. They have to go to these locations, but sometimes you're just look at an animated movie and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
So, Nathan, what's your hot take for this episode?
Yeah, I never come
Do you have
prepared.
yours, Andrew?
Okay,
Second.
um, let me try to think for a second what it was. Well, I'm gonna do a Star Wars one that might get some people angry who know about this character, but Darth Nihilus is not as powerful as people think.
I'm sorry, I have no idea who that is.
Sith Lord. Basically, people take his planet. He uses the Force to drain life out of people. People take it as he's insanely strong. He can eat planets and everything, which he's done, but not to the extent of like other people. And he's actually a very terrible duelist. So people like to say he's really good when he's not.
I have my Star Wars lore knowledge does not include him, sadly.
It's fine.
Kind of
I just
want
had to
to
get that one out there.
kind of want to do like a kind of want to just watch like a 10-hour the complete Star Wars timeline video
I'm
if I can
pretty sure
find
there's
one.
some out there.
That's what I like doing to make sure I know all the lore. So like um
Okay. I have mine, I think. Okay. I think I kind of said this like a lot though. Um, The Last Jedi is a good movie.
disagree.
Yeah, I know you
Okay.
do.
I'm sorry, I disagree.
It's not
I'd
the
have to
best, but it's not
disagree,
bad.
but it's your opinion,
Yeah, I
and I can agree
respect.
with your opinion.
I think it's the worst Star Wars movie.
Wow. The thing is, what I like about it is that um throughout the old movies, like, if you went to the dark side, that was it. Like, they were so afraid of it, they didn't really understand it. They did, but not really. But I love how they kind of gave Rey a new, like a different arc, like something new. They did something new with her, and she started to kind of go to the dark side. I thought that was cool, and she was using the power, but like she wasn't fully. I don't know if it makes sense,
He
but I
wasn't
just thought
fully
that was cool.
corrupted.
Yeah, so I like that they explored that more. That's like my main reason for thinking it's a good movie. I think that's the thing I like most about it.
And unfortunately, that might be one of the things I'd have to disagree with you on based on how George talks about the Force. because
Like,
it's really there's light and dark. There's like never in between, and I can never. And when people say, "Oh, people can balance out the force," and it's like that's not how it works. You can't achieve perfect balance because the dark side is a drug. It will corrupt you.
Yeah.
okay, next hot take.
Uh,
Yours is actually I had mine, but I forgot it. Let me think. I had mines. Um, what was it? Sorry, I had it, but I forgot. I
you're
usually,
fine. I had to think about mine, so you're good.
um,
Oh, I just thought of another one if I could say it
yeah, it's
while you try
fine.
to think on yours. Okay, I'm curious how many people agree disagree on this one. The Batman is a better Batman movie than The Dark Knight.
Okay, I don't know if I disagree with you, but I'm not sure if I agree though.
The way I
I
see it
think
is like The Dark Knight is a better movie, but the Batman tells a better Batman story.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
can
I
see
agree with
that.
that.
Yeah. Okay, at first I was like, I don't think so. But now I do think that the Batman, because Batman's all about detective work. And in this one, he's just solving a mystery. Yeah, kind of like how, no, I don't prefer Man of Steel to Superman, but Superman is a better Superman movie. Some people may argue that Man of Steel is a better movie, but I don't think anyone argues that Man of Steel is a better Superman movie than Superman.
There's some Snyder fans out there.
Oh boy, here they come. I hear them now.
Nathan, you're one of them.
No, I'm not. I am not a Snyder bot.
I like his visual style. I'm not a big fan on much else.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I
He
always
did.
thought he was overrated.
He's very competent. I'll give him that. He's a competent director. He knows what he wants, but it's like,
Also
do
like
people chill?
The color grading for like
Sometimes it
first,
works.
yeah, but for a Superman movie, it feels like so dark and so
Yeah.
I had mines.
I think Henry Cavill could play Batman.
Mm, I don't know. I just see Superman.
Okay, yes, I have another one. I think that the
Okay.
Flash movie, 2023, is one of the best DC movies of all time, live action. And I think it's a very overhated movie.
I know you can't see me, but I literally just face palmed.
Can you say that again? Sorry.
Or did you actually hear or
No, I didn't hear.
I think that the Flash movie is top 10 or not top 10, but it's one of the best DC movies and is overhated. Do you agree or
No,
disagree? You
I
disagree?
disagree. Like,
I have to disagree. I'm sorry. That is,
yeah.
Okay, then I mine another one is we're moving on. I'm not gonna win this argument.
I mean, like when a movie just looks bad, like it's hard to enjoy.
and it's hard to enjoy when your lead actor has done so much other stuff, and you're like, I can't even look past that to watch the movie.
Yeah, and also like I don't even think he's a good casting for the Flash, to be
He actually
honest.
worked better as a Wally West than he did Barry Allen.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think that the movie shows that like he was annoying, but he's maturing.
No, but it's not only about that. He just doesn't really feel like the Flash
He
to me.
doesn't. but like the movie did kind of does a better job. I still don't like Ezra Miller's version, but the movie does a good job at making you like it.
And especially the suit. Like,
It's
what
the
were they
cowl
doing?
for me. Like I can live with most of the suit, but it's that cowl. I'm like,
Yeah,
ugh.
For
kind of
me, it's
reminds me
like
of the season 5 CW cowl.
With like the helmet, yeah.
Yeah, with no chin strap.
for me, it's the body, like the lower part. Like they didn't give him a belt, so it looks so weird.
Looks too leathery.
For me, it just like okay, wait, let me find it real quick.
And while we're
Flash.
waiting for you, we have the I asked the viewers what are some of their hot takes so we can read. One of them, Tentacle Productions, he does cool stuff. His hot take is that Spider-Man Homecoming is overrated and Far From Home is underrated.
Thank you. What's his name again?
Tentacle Productions.
He's based. I totally agree. I've been saying this for the longest.
I'm like 50-50, so it's I can go either way. It really depends on my mood.
I
Yeah,
disagree. I think Homecoming is better than Far From Home. Far From Home is still a good movie, but it's not. Even if you argue Far From Home is a better movie, Homecoming's a better Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, that's what I would say. It's like it's a better Spider-Man. It feels more like a typical Spider-Man movie.
Because like Far From Home, he's not in New York, and I get it that he goes out, but like it's kind of like having a Batman movie where it's just Batman and like another hero, and for the majority, he's just in Europe. That
Actually,
just
that one wouldn't bother me too much.
it doesn't really feel right. Like Batman, I think he's unless he's working with other heroes, he should just be in Gotham. Or like even if he's in another city, it shouldn't the whole movie shouldn't take place in another city.
the thing is, I feel like when there's been like so many different interpretations of like a character like Spider-Man, we've gotten the Tobey Maguire movies and the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and I don't know, I don't think you can keep just delivering the same story. Like I think you have to be a little bit different. So I think I liked how they left New York, and I do love New York, but like I think it was a it was refreshing to see something new.
Okay, yeah, I can kind of see what you're saying with that. It's like it was the breath of fresh air you kind of needed, especially after Endgame, because this took place after that. You're like still dealing with everything that happened in that, and now you kind of got this, and so you're a little bit more lifted up, kind of.
Yeah.
So I still disagree. I still think that Spider-Man Homecoming is perfectly rated. I do think Far From Home is a bit underrated, but it's still like bottom three, bottom two Spider-Man movie.
Bottom two. Like
Yeah,
out of Tom trilogy?
no, out of all nine.
Whoa.
Wait, we've got nine, right? Out of all eight.
Okay, Tentacle Productions, if you're listening, don't feel bad, okay? Ryan's the same guy who said the Flash movie is really good, okay? So, look, sorry, Ryan, but it doesn't matter what he said, okay?
Really. So thank you so much again for coming on, Andrew. This was really fun.
Absolute pleasure.
Yes,
Really
thank
enjoyed
you.
it.
That's it for today's episode. Thank you for listening to us. Be sure to follow us on Apple Podcasts and subscribe to Skywalker Academy. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Thank you again
Okay.
for coming on, Andrew. We hope to have you on some other time. This was really
Absolutely.
fun.
Just let me know when, and hopefully this time our schedules will actually align better than the last few times.
Yeah, it took us like we're planning this since like July.
Yeah, and especially with me starting classes, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, I that's the reason why. It's mostly me though, because I started like college classes and yeah.
Yeah, same.
I'm not in college yet.
Oh, have fun.
Yeah.
But really, if you're going to go to college, actually think about going. That's really what I have to say about that.